amazing schedule. I am so excited and looking forward to this.
Exactly, movers and shakers from all countries around the world as we stream live to 83 countries and economies. But of course, things would have been different here in Malaysia, as Malaysia was set to host the 24th edition of the WCIT, which is the flagship program for WITSA, the World Information System and Service Alliance. They control, well, 90% of their members comprise about 90% of the global ICT community. So, COVID-19 has changed things indefinitely, but although COVID-19 has laid us low, it is not going to break us. We continue to stay connected technologically, and, well, it seems we have to be more human during these times.
That's right. It's about being together. And
although we have to stay apart. There you go.
I know I'm going to stand a little bit further apart. Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, everything that you're going to find out about TechFest is also going to be on our website, techfest.my. So make sure you check that out.
So log on, and I'm going to leave Sarah here for the first segment. Round one, Sarah. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Stay away.
Okay.
We'll see you right back.
All right. I'll see you soon. So TechFest, of course, isn't just starting now. We started about 12 hours ago and all the way from 8 a.m. So I'm just going to do a little recap of everything that happened today. We're here at Georgetown, the UNESCO World Heritage Site, and as early as 8 a.m., we officially launched the event with a ceremonious affair to unveil the broadcast and streaming site, TechFest.my, with the Mayor of Penang and key stakeholders of Invest Penang, PICOM, the National Tech Association of Malaysia, and top personnel from local councils. We're here at the landmark Yap Cho E building in the heart of Georgetown, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This elegant historic building was built in 1922 and is located on China Street, God. And now, this morning, it opened its doors to TechFest Live for the next few days. It's 10 a.m.
This initiative, we are able to bring in more than 100 speakers, and they are well known, and they 270 speakers, that's right. And that's supposed to share with us their insights in terms of technology and the future of the industry.
So all these 3 days of events that's happening here will benefit all our new technology and the new startup companies.
Please look out for the cybersecurity and 5G. This will definitely impress and help your organization.
It has been 2.5 years. We have planned so much energy to reach today, and we are bringing you here, TechFest 2020 Penang.
This is TechFest 2020 Malaysia Live. It is not a Malaysia event. I can assure you this event goes all the way to 84 countries in the world.
Hello? Yeah? Let me know when. Then at 10 a.m., we also launched the Future Cities Connect track that features the Associo Smart City Summit 2020. The Mayor of Penang City welcomed the world and the ICT industry to join forces with Malaysia to purposefully better the implementation of smart city technologies. Besides the Smart Cities track, Startup Asia, celebrating the spirit of innovation and entrepreneurship, was the theme of this year's Origin Conference. TechNode Global premier international content track about the latest developments in the Asia tech startup scene. Congrats to all of the winners. Next, we're going to be finding out the motivations behind TechFest Live. We've got a short break. Make sure you stay tuned. And welcome to TechFest Live. Now, we are going to be speaking to our first guest. We have our topic, Tech Talk, and it's going to be about keeping technology to its promise. So I'm going to be inviting Mr. C.S. Chin. He's the chairman of the organizing committee of WITSA, or WCIT Malaysia, to come and join us. Hi, Mr. Chin, how are you?
Great. Hi, Sarah. Thank you for introduction.
Well, you know, this is TechFest. This is your baby. You've been working on this for a long time.
Right.
And I know the motto is reframe, renew, and reimagine. Could you let us know what that's all about?
You see, when we come to tech world, every day we have to rethink, reframe, and reimagine. Especially when we come to this new age of technology, whereby every day is changing. All technology have been changing, right? And to bring an event such as the WCIT to Malaysia for the second time, and to come to Penang is something that is very exciting for us, especially for the organizer, PICOM. And what is important for these three words mean, right? Especially to the Penang people, right? We want to make Penang a gateway to Southeast Asia, right? And to do that, we have to start thinking of various kind of way to do that. And also, with this TechFest Live, a 3-day particular event, we got endorsement and also the support of Penang State Government to conduct a new form of, or new normal kind of, right? Because of pandemic, right?
Yes,
we
of
can't do a
course.
lot of things, we can't do anything much of a physical event, and the best is to bring the best speaker around the world to come online, to have webinar, you have a live broadcast conversation, as well as an interactive conversation based on the new era technology right now. And we have various good speakers around the world, a technology entrepreneur, as well as also the great speaker that will help us to enlighten our event.
And I know that you made this bid in 2014, so that was 6 years ago.
Right.
I mean, I don't even know what I was doing 6 years ago, let alone to plan something like this. So could you let us know how it's changed from when you first bid to where you are now?
Let me think what I do 6 years ago.
Yeah, what did you
Okay,
do six
fine.
years ago?
When we bid for this WCIT 2020, we were in Mexico, right, at that time. And to bring a great event, a prestige event, such as the Olympic of Global ICT Technology Conference to Malaysia, The second time I said that just now, is not easy. Number one, we need support of government.
Yes.
Because we as NGO, PCOM is not a very rich organization. We need to pay a huge
Important,
license
though.
fees.
Yes.
Right. But for us to bring this, and we need not only government like MDEC to support, especially the Penang State government. We are very thankful for this time. We decided to approach Penang State government, and with the great support from the Yang Amat Mohamad, our chief minister.
Yes.
He is giving so much of confidence and also trust in us to make this event a success. Unluckily or luckily, we have to postpone
Yeah.
due to pandemic. So
Yeah.
WCIT 2020 will not happen. But it doesn't end us there. So we
Yeah.
have TechFest Live,
Yes.
which also good. We can promote this year,
Yeah.
next year, until WCIT 2020, which I think will bring a lot of tension, a lot of visitor,
Yes.
in whether it is offline, online, or whatever. Maybe
Yeah.
next year, I hope we all can come here.
Absolutely.
And it will be a different feeling,
Wonderful.
a different wonderful event. We can bring it and make Penang the great way to Southeast Asia.
That's right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Great.
Thank you very
Great.
much.
Have a good day.
Great, thank
Bye.
you. So our next guest, I believe he wears many hats. I just want to make sure that I do this justice. He's representing Malaysia on the board of directors of WITSA Malaysia. He's the deputy chairman of PCOM, the National Technology Association of Malaysia, and the deputy chairman of the organizing committee. Please do let me introduce to you Dato' Sean Sia. How are you feeling today?
I'm good, feeling good.
Yeah, good. I mean,
It's,
this is finally happening, TechFest Live.
After 2 years.
Yeah, and I mean, we heard from what Mr. Chin said earlier. This is industry-led and government-supported. How did this happen? I want to hear a little bit more about that.
Okay, PCOM has done it many times. As a association of over 1,000 tech companies,
Wow.
okay, it is in our DNA, okay, to work with the government to develop and organize such a global event. We have done it before, okay, year 2008, when we organized at WCIT 2008,
Yeah.
okay, we have successfully brought in about 8 billion ringgit worth of investment and
Wow.
thousands of jobs. Okay, and
That's
as a-
what we like to hear.
Yep. And to recreate that success,
Yeah.
we actually want to do another round of WCIT. That's why we call it WCIT 2020. And TechFest is come together with that.
Right.
Okay. Therefore, I think if anyone has any idea that want to develop or organize, for PCOM to organize another big event, a global event, let us know. I think we'll take up the challenge.
I see. So when we talk about these kind of events, and we talk about technology, of course, with PCOM, you know, who is the person that is responsible for driving technology for the betterment of mankind? Is it the industry's role, because you guys know quite a lot? Is it, you know, the government's role to ensure that, you know, there is a future? Or is it the people to take it upon themselves to see, you know, what we should be doing?
Good question.
Love to see what your
Yeah.
answer is about that
Tough
one.
questions.
Yes.
I believe it's everyone's responsibilities. Okay, as technologies are created to address the needs and pain points of human beings,
Yeah.
people. Okay, and with the needs exist, investor of the technology, entrepreneur, invest their time, effort, and resources to build such a solutions, with the hope can address that needs and make some money.
Yeah.
And however, it's the government setting the policy, make sure the application, the technology being used by the people are safe and fair. And in my opinion, I think it's this ecosystem
Yeah.
that actually build technology for the betterment of mankind. I think we have many examples. You know, we have solution like e-hailing solution
Yeah.
like the Grab.
Yeah.
It is the needs that drive the entrepreneur
right.
who develop the application.
Yeah.
It is the government to govern that policy. Okay, another example, Elon Musk. He has this idea to shoot satellite to provision broadband. Okay, all this basically there's a need, but the government must step in to provision that services, make sure it's safe to use.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really about this whole ecosystem that just, it just
Yep,
goes
the
back and forth.
triangle.
Everybody
Right,
is just
right.
as involved as that.
Right.
When you talk about PCOM, what are really the expectations that you have for this coming future, or maybe with TechFest in general?
Expectation is to make this something we can shout for the next 3 years. many years to come, make this as a success,
Yeah.
as the first of its kind, to attract global attendance, whether it's hybrid from the internet, whether in the future when the pandemic is over, they can come to visit Malaysia, visit Penang. It is our intention to recreate this event for the years to come,
Yeah.
to bring more tourists, more people to know, and more investors into Malaysia.
Yeah.
I think
That's where you stand with this.
I think that's what we
Yeah.
want to do. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think with TechFest, TechFest Live especially, we are bringing technology to the homes of Malaysians, right? And this is
Correct.
something that, I don't know, has it ever been done? Is this the first time it's ever been done?
TechFest is of its first edition right
Wow.
now, but we have done WCIT
Of
before.
course, yeah.
The whole intention is to build TechFest actually to let the end user to experience technology. We talk about all technology, autonomous car, all these things. Nobody have actually touched it.
Yeah.
Okay. The intention of TechFest actually to bring technology to the level of user, people.
Yeah.
They can comprehend, they could feel it, they can, oh, this is for me or this is not for me. I think that's the original idea, because a lot of tech conferences is very high level.
Yes.
Yeah, you go there, you know, you with the brain after 2 days, you know, what are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we want to create a conference, a festival, thousands of people can
Yeah.
experience technology,
Yeah.
can see technology work for them
Yeah.
for the first time.
Absolutely, and I think, you know, as we reiterate, that we want to make sure that this event is inclusive. And so it's not just only tech heads speaking, it's really that we're able to plant the ideas of technology to whoever is going to be watching. So with this topic is about keeping technology to its promise. So when does technology not keep to its promise? And what do we do? How do we keep technology accountable for what it's set out to do? Is that a tough question?
It's my job.
Okay.
I mean, as a venture capitalist, I often evaluate and invest in technologies. Okay, I think it is a responsibility for myself, let's
Yeah.
put it that way, to pick the right technology to invest and to grow. Okay, oftentimes it is because of greed. Somebody or some investor, I want to make money this way, and the application not really help human being or mankind, but there is a way to make money.
Right.
When that happens, technology often fail, okay,
Right.
and it often bring harm more than benefit to users. And technology itself, there's no bad or
Good
good.
or good,
It's
yeah.
the user
Yeah.
or the creator with the intention to use the technology will bring a judgment whether it's good or bad.
Oh, I like this.
Right.
This is a real ethical
it's-
question.
Right, it is tough, but a lot of technology out there.
And of course, it is for the betterment of the future. Thank you so much, Dr.
You're most welcome.
for joining us and sharing with us insights of what's to come. We're looking forward to the next few days.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. All right, so we've already heard from a couple of our guests. We have one more that's going to be coming up, but we're going to go for a quick break, and we're going to bring him back, and we're going to give him a call. So make sure you stay tuned. I can actually hear you.
I say Dr. James Kozan. Kozan, is that right? For example?
Okay, yeah. Am I pronouncing your name properly, Dr. James Poissant? and welcome back to TechFest Live. We're now going to be speaking to Dr. James Poissant, the Secretary General of WITSA, who's currently calling from Vienna, Virginia, in the States. I believe you are on Eastern time, so this must be super early in the morning for you. And WITSA, or the World IT and Service Alliance, owns the rights to the World Congress on IT, WCIT, also known as the Olympics of all tech conferences in the world. Hi, James. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
So here, the core vision of keeping technology to its promise was adopted, the mission for this festival to be a lot more inclusive and give access to technology to have better conversations regarding technology and resources, as well as showcasing how technology can really better our lives. As the Secretary General of WITSA, what are some programs that live up to this promise?
Okay, please repeat that last question.
I was just saying, what are some of the programs at WITSA that focuses on these promises?
Well, thank you. Before answering your question, I'd like to mention a little bit about WITSA.
Yes.
We are a global alliance of ICT association representing 84 countries and 90% or so of communications change. I want to mention that we have TCOM, the National Association of Malaysia, as our member of Malaysia. Now, to answer your question, WITSA is engaged in several activities to promote the use of ICT globally. As you know, WITSA's premier Conference on Information Technology, which will be held here in Penang in 2022. This particular event that we're enjoying now, TechFest and ROAD-TO-WCIT, is setting the stage for future World Conference. The main goal of these gatherings is to facilitate the idea of fulfilling the promise of the digital age, which simply means that the promise of the ICT is met, the digital age is met, then everyone on Earth will benefit from using ICT. Now, Asia, the growing major region in the world, accounted for more than 2/3 of global growth. Malaysia is ideally positioned to be a gateway to doing business in this region.
So based on that, I mean, we are going to be speaking to Professor Sumitra Dutta, and he's going to be talking a little bit about the 2019 NRI. Could you explain to us a little bit about how that has changed this year in comparison to some of the other years?
Well, the network readiness index has been around for decades. Used to be supported by the World Forum. So I share your excitement, waiting to hear what Dr. Dutta has to say about that. But let me explain briefly what the valuable research document is. It ranks over 20 nations relative to the degree that they're benefiting from ICT. So it sheds spotlight on a country. It breaks it down into the different elements so that the countries can learn how best to move up the ranking. So in other words, if you're at the top of the ranking, you are maximally benefiting. So that's the whole idea. And I think hearing Dr. Dutta opportunity for WITSA to become involved with the wonderful report came up. We were a partner of the 2019. We're very proud of that. So again, I hope you enjoyed it. By the way, that report is free of charge, called an Network Readiness Index. And I would encourage anyone that's working on improving the lives of people in countries through ICT to reference that document closely. Thank you.
Thank you so much, James. We appreciate you joining us, and we hope you have a wonderful day ahead in Virginia.
I understand it's 6:30 a.m. in the morning, and so good morning to those in Virginia. Thank you and stay safe, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, that was James Poisson, Secretary General of WITSA.
Yes.
And of course, talking about benchmarking the network economy with the 2019 index.
That's right. So the index has changed, and they were very much involved with this, with the Portulense Institute. And as he mentioned earlier, he's extremely proud of that because countries are able to see where they stand in terms of ranking.
Absolutely. And of course, the network economy is the way forward towards the future. When you buy something online, all you do is you click and you pay online, and next thing you know, a couple of days, it comes to you, right?
Absolutely.
What you don't see is the whole value chain, where it comes from. Maybe it could be from the other side of the world.
Yeah.
The money spent over there, transporting it to the shipping.
Yes.
The shipping comes down to your country, and the guy on the motorcycle comes and delivers it to you.
This is the entire chain.
That's the entire chain. Of course, it shares or creates value across all players over there. And now there's a system to benchmark this.
Absolutely.
That's what we're proud of with the efforts of WITSA. Well done, sir.
Well done. And so we're going to be, after the break, we're going to be listening to this keynote presentation.
Very important, of course, from someone very learned as well.
Yes.
We're going to be listening to this particular lady. If you have a name, you can give
Professor
Yeah.
Sumitra
Yes.
Dutta. He's from Cornell University, and he's going to be giving a wonderful speech. So
Stick with
tuned.
us. Yes, we'll be back right after this.
Yeah, this one's fine. I'm just going to preface this. This is all based on the 2019 NRI, the Network Readiness Index report, and so we're very excited to take a look. So why don't we take a look?
Hello, my name is Shomitra Datta, and I'm a professor at Cornell University in upstate New York. And it's my distinct honor and privilege to have been invited to share some of my research on technology competitiveness and technology benchmarking with you today. I'm sorry we're not gathering in person, but there's a good example of how technology is allowing us to innovate and come together despite many of the COVID restrictions. A lot of the comments that I'll make today are linked to my research on the Network Readiness Index, or the NRI. This is a piece of work that I co-created at the World Economic Forum in 2002, and I'm very pleased that over the last couple of decades, this has really evolved into one of the major global indices on technology, and many countries have used the NRI to successfully lay the foundations of their own technology policies and strategies. Now, of course, today we are living at a very interesting point in time, and we have to be able to understand how technology evolves and how the digital transformation will affect our lives in the future. So I'd like to cover 4 points briefly in my presentation, say a few words about digital transformation, go into depth in the NRI model, explain some of the rankings and findings from this year, and close with some key messages from the NRI. The first point really is around the digital transformation. And digital transformation really is something that we have seen and rapid acceleration digital transformation over the last few years. And typically what we have seen is that as the crisis has accelerated, the rate of digital adoption, in fact, has increased too. Now, if you think about what are some of the directional trends we can hope for the future, one way to think about it is to look backwards and look back and see what can we learn about digital transformation from what happened last time, the last big crisis, which was in 2008, the global financial crisis. Now, what we see, and this is based on my other research on innovation as part of the Global Innovation Index, what we see is that innovation rates, in fact, did not slow down. Innovation rates became faster than GDP growth rates after the last global financial crisis. And a lot of the reason why that happened is because essentially private sector stepped in and private sector took up the responsibility to leverage the potential of technology much more and invest in technology, despite the fact that many governments reduced their investments in innovation. Now, will this actually happen and continue in the future? I think there is hope for us to be cautiously optimistic. If you look at the various business sectors, there are 4 sectors: ICT equipment, pharmaceuticals, automobiles, and software and services. And these 4 sectors together essentially account for around 80% of the total private sector investment in R&D. Now, if you take R&D investments as some kind of a proxy for innovation rates, what you will see, and this is also borne out by anecdotal evidence from the last few months, is that the rate of innovation in these sectors has not slowed down in the last few months. In fact, if anything, it has become faster. Now, yes, there are other sectors like especially hospitality, travel, tourism that have been affected very negatively by the COVID crisis, and where definitely we'll see a massive, painful phase of restructuring for the future. But in the future, the companies that will thrive and succeed will be ones that definitely will have to innovate. And a lot of the innovation will have to be driven by technology. So we see, and I personally think that there's a room for cautious optimism that the rate of digital adoption, innovation that we have seen in digital transformation will not in fact slow down over the next few years. Now, as this pace of digital transformation gathers steam and becomes even faster possibly, we are faced with some important questions about the impact of the digital transformation on our lives. Yes, certainly, of course, digital transformation and digital technologies is improving our lives in many ways. We're able to do things today that we could not do even a few years ago. For example, remote work and remote learning. All this has become possible because digital technologies have improved to a point that makes it possible to do so. But having said this, there are some fundamental questions that we cannot ignore. For example, is digital transformation increasing inequality or decreasing inequality? And this is an important issue because inequality is changing qualitatively the lives of people around the world and is causing many countries great political stresses and social stresses. Is digital transformation leading to better lives? If you have, for example, a Uber driver or some kind of a car sharing rider, a driver whose every single movement is being controlled by technology, who's being observed by technology. The same thing is true for doctors. Doctors are being monitored in terms of how much time they spend at each patient and what they're doing. Is that in fact leading to a better life for the people? Is it in fact a situation of us being in control by technology or technology controlling us? Because keep in mind, technology can be used to either empower people, or it can be used to control people, or in some cases can be used to replace people completely. So what you see out here is that technology and this human dimension is becoming very critical. And as you will see in the NRI framework I'll talk about later on, this integration of people and technology is becoming fundamental to the success of digital transformation in the years ahead. Now, as part of our research on innovation, on network readiness, we do look at both data. There's a lot of data that we collect, and the data is certainly very helpful in providing some kind of objective, sound basis for digital transformation, or at least understanding digital transformation. Yet at the same time, we do believe it's important to be able to collect qualitative feedback, qualitative insights from leaders in the public sector, private sector, about what they think, how is technology impacting our lives today. So as part of the NRI work this year, we have in fact interviewed a number of leaders, including, for example, people like Windsurf, and we have asked them for their opinion about how they see technology affecting the future. And what is interesting is that you see a number of common themes emerging and a lot of hope for better times and for good results. At the same time, a lot of concerns about what could possibly go wrong and how will we address some of the possible shortcomings. So I encourage you to go to the website of Network Readiness, the Portland Institute, and not just look only at the report, which I encourage you to do so, but also look at some of these qualitative interviews, because they will really provide a very good complement to some of the interesting, important questions we face today in the area of digital transformation.
We're going to go on a short break, but we will be playing the second half of this presentation, so stay tuned. joining us here at TechFest Live. And we are taking a look at the keynote presentation by Professor Sumitra Dutta. Please enjoy.
So when the NRI model was first created, it reflected a lot of the concerns that people felt 10 years, 15 years ago. And what has happened right now is a lot of the issues that matter in the world of technology and successful technology leveraging really have evolved quite a bit. So what we think is very important is to be able to build a model of NRI that reflects some of these new concerns. So today, as we said earlier, this human-centric approach to ICT is very critical. We need to be able to combine technology and people effectively to be able to yield good results. And in the NRI, 2 years ago, we went through a massive rethinking of what kind of issues need to be reflected, addressed in the futuristic, future-fit model of the NRI. And we came up with this notion of having this simple underlying premise that in the future, and today of course, we need to combine people and technology effectively with the right governance structure to have the right impact. The right impact on society, on economy, and on the environment. And of course, in governance, we have to look at these issues around trust, inclusiveness, and regulation. And a lot of these issues reflect concerns that today have risen to the top in terms of how people think about technology and technology issues. So we use this model. We collect data on various countries, 60 different indicators, and essentially we try and produce a ranking of the countries. Now, these rankings always are interesting. People look at them because everyone likes rankings and they like to see where they're positioned. In 2020, we saw around 134 countries ranked in the study. The top 10 are listed out here. As you can see, in the top 3, there are 2 European economies, Sweden and Denmark, and 1 Asian economy, Singapore, ranked number 3. The US is not far behind. The US is one of the few large economies ranked number 8. Germany also is a large economy ranked number 9, and UK is ranked number 10. So you see a combination of Asian plus American plus many European nations in the top 10, but all of them tend to be high-income economies. If you plot them, the NRI rank on the vertical axis and the GDP per capita on the horizontal axis, what you start seeing is that you can draw a regression line and start observing which countries outperform their income group peers. Of course, the size of the bubbles out here are the size of the population, and you cannot necessarily read all the countries marked out there, but you get a sense, at least of the major countries in Asia, which ones are outperforming, which ones are at, or which ones are underperforming. Malaysia, as you can see out there, is actually outperforming its income group peers, and that's a very good sign and good news. Now, having the data, a rich data set, you can slice and dice the data set in multiple ways. And I'll just show you a few just for the sake of information sharing. And you can look at other details yourself. You can even download the data and perform your own analysis from the website. So on the pillar-wise ranking, you see once again many traditional players from Europe dominating, but you also see Korea and Singapore being in the top 3 on the people dimension and the impact dimension. If you go by income group level, you see some interesting countries. Of course, you see Malaysia in rank number 1 in the upper middle income countries. And you also see other economies like China and Vietnam and Rwanda doing quite well. Now, having the benefit of multiple countries in multiple regions, you actually can understand and often observe some interesting results and try to ask the question, why are some countries doing better and why are some others doing not as well? You can also compare regions as a whole. And if you compare Asia-Pac to other regions, what you see is that Asia-Pac, the divergence is in fact quite high because it's a fairly heterogeneous region from Singapore, number 3rd in the world, to Nepal, 113. And the average is actually pretty comparable to many of the European and American regions. But in some sense, it's a very heterogeneous region, and there's a lot that can be done to improve the overall region as a whole. If you look at by pillar, how does the various region sort of perform on the pillars? You see the strengths tend to be on the governance and impact side. the weakness tends to be in relative terms on the technology and people side. Now, I say relative, what I mean by this, of course, is that it's a big region, Asia Pac, and there's some countries that are doing extremely well on technology, like Korea and like Singapore and like China. But at the same time, I think the region as a whole, the relative weakness is on investing more in R&D in technology and on having more adoption of technology by people. Now, looking at Malaysia, Malaysia is doing very well, as you saw, 34th in the world and ranked number 1 in the upper middle income economies. And the key strengths of Malaysia are in the high usage and skill of ICT among individuals and government. And the main challenge is to boost digital participation and content creation. Now, having the benefit of a lot of data, you can actually do a more quantitative analysis of any one country. Looking at Malaysia out here in particular, you see that on the networking technology pillar, the second sub-pillar of content, Malaysia is ranked 58th. So this is not as good as overall rank of 34th. So you can ask the question, why is Malaysia ranked 58th in that content dimension? So you have to go down one level and see what are the specific variables that are used for computing that. And like any index, the variables are incomplete and you can often pick faults in them, but we do the best in terms of collecting variables for a large number of economies. So here you see, for example, the number of GitHub edit commits and the Wikipedia edits and other kinds of mobile app development metrics. Malaysia could perhaps do better. So it gives you a more focused ability to deep dive into any one economy and understand why they're doing better or worse in a certain aspect. Now, let me close with some key messages as a whole. I think we are living through a very, very interesting phase of digital transformation. And this is not going to slow down. This is going to continue. And the important responsibility for us is that this does not create more digital divides, or this does not create more inequality. And we are able to go through this process successfully in an inclusive manner such that we're able to create the right impact on society and economy and the environment. And that's one reason why the NRI model is very useful, because it provides a mental anchor, because technology is not just only about bits and bytes or making sure computers are present or people have mobile phones. It's really about trying to integrate the technology and human dimensions successfully in society. And clearly, I think what you see is that the technology will be very critical for achieving some of the SDG goals. And certainly a lot of this will also require that we increase the level of global collaboration. And a lot of the trends we have seen in recent months is not very helpful. Now, collectively out here, I think we represent a very important industrial sector. We represent leaders in technology, and we help others to leverage technology in their own sectors. So we have a tremendous responsibility, not just for guiding technology development, but also for the application of technology society by governments and by other private sector businesses. So I really encourage you all to look at this hope of optimism, but also be mindful of all the concerns that people raise. And collectively, we should try and shape a better future for technology for the good of all.
There you go. What an insightful presentation. And it's really all about leveraging and seeing what we can do. So we're going to go for a short break and we're going to talk to the man himself. Okay. Welcome back to TechFest Live. We are in the last segment where we've just listened to Professor Sumitra Dutta's presentation, and we have a few questions. I know I do, at least, and we're going to be joined by him. He's on the call right now. Hi, Professor, how are you?
Hello, good evening to everyone.
Good evening. We have a couple questions for you. I thought the first thing we would talk about is your presentation. In regards to its 2019, the report, it's based on that. How is it different? How is this report different than the other previous years?
Thank you so much for the question. If you look at how our views of technology have evolved, you see 20 years ago, there was a lot of hope and optimism about technology. Today, if you fast forward 20 years later, there is still a lot of hope and optimism, but at the same time, there are a lot of fear and concerns also around trust, security, inclusion, the impact on the environment. And so somehow the pendulum of technology discussion has shifted from what I would say hope to fear. And it is time to rebalance the pendulum. And what the new Network Readiness Index framework does really is tries to position technology in that happy center. Try all these interesting new elements that are very important for us today around inclusion, security, trust, governance, regulation, impact on environment, and so on.
I see. And when it comes to 5G, is this going to create a bigger a bigger gap for this digital divide?
So it's an interesting question you're asking, because the NRI research is conducted for almost 20 years. And we are also living in a world where pretty much everyone or every adult person has an access to a mobile phone. So many of us think falsely that the digital divide no longer exists. But the research shows that the digital divide has in fact increased over the last 2 decades as opposed to decreasing. Especially as you look at the fact that even today, more than 40% of the world's population does not have access. Today, if you look at the fact that you might have a mobile phone, but the data connectivity may not be very high, or they may not have access to the internet successfully. In the pandemic, and a lot of the learning went to home, even in a rich country like America, about 22% of all households did not have access to the internet. So as technology progresses, what you find is that the divide between the people who have access to the latest technology and those who have access to technology but the lower previous generation is in fact increasing at a faster rate. Wow. And this is going to accentuate with 5G, because 5G is the latest generation. Some parts of the world will have access to it faster than others. The richer people have access to it better. And the divide is in fact going to grow. Unfortunately, that's my personal view also on this important question.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you taking our questions. We're so excited to have you here at TechFest. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go away. We're going to go to a little break, and Naz is going to be right back. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
So right now we're going to be going to a little.
So was that okay?
Yes, that was great. We're just
Sound
going
was
to go.
fine.
We're just going to go into a little break before we get into Naz's section. No, they told me 1 minute. Yeah, he told me 1 minute.
Good evening and peace be upon you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, citizens of the world who love information technology. Welcome to the official launch of TechFest Live. That's right, coming to you, of course, live, online to 83 countries around the world, as well as on air on channel 702 Astro, brought to you by the National Tech Society of Malaysia, PICOM. Absolutely excited. Myself, I'm Nazruddin Rahman, your host, and with my partner Sarah Lian, together we'll give you the highlights of this 3-day Global Technology Festival where we seek to reframe, renew, and reimagine how technology can advance humanity on a global scale. Yes, we stream to you live from Georgetown, Penang. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And those of you who have just logged in, please do stick with us till the end of the show. We'll be speaking to industry movers and shakers. But first of all, let's take this moment to officially launch TechFest Live with an announcement and a special address from Yang Berhormat Dato' Saifuddin Abdullah, Minister of Communication and Multimedia, Malaysia.
Yang Amat Berhormat Tuan Chow Kun Yew, Chief Minister of Penang, Madam Yvonne Chew, Chairman, World IT and Services Alliance, Madam Surina Shukri, CEO of Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation, MDEC, Datuk Lu Li Lian, CEO of Invest Penang, Datuk AR Yu Tung Siang, Mayor of Penang Island, Mr. Danny Lee, Chairman of the National Tech Association of Malaysia, PICOM. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, Assalamualaikum and Salam Sejahtera. I wish to warmly welcome all of you, delegates, exhibitors, conference speakers, participants and visitors to Malaysia. I thank you for being with us in the first edition of TechFest Live, featuring ROAD-TO-WCIT Malaysia, which is a 3-day global tech festival that aims to accelerate growth and market access for the technology-related industries, but more importantly, to promote digital inclusion and highlight the positive impact technology has done. I'm very proud that this event is being organized and made successful from the collaboration and hard work of various private and public organizations. I commend PICOM as the organizer and MDEC as the supporting agency, as well as my friends in the state of Pulau Pinang for being the gracious host for the event. My appreciation to BITSA, as well as all the other global partners that supported and made this event meaningful. I trust you will make the most of the offerings the program has to offer in terms of growing your businesses, gaining insights, establishing new connections, and networking. Brothers and sisters, there are so many reasons and there are so many sessions where it covers various verticals of technology, which include 5G conversations in Malaysia and other aspects of development, including emerging technologies. The Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Commission, which is the regulatory body monitoring the progress of this initiative, will be able to highlight the opportunities available for investors and business capitalizing on the technology. Malaysia has a lot to offer for investors and tech companies, considering doing business in the Southeast Asia. In terms of internet penetration rate, we are at about 86%. In terms of broadband penetration rate, we are about 118%. It is estimated that by 2020, the mobile payment transaction value will be around US dollar 1.03 billion. So our population, the Malaysians, are by definition quite ICT and high-tech savvy. Malaysia is also currently implementing the Jalinan Digital Negara or JENDELA, which is the National Digital Network Initiative Action Plan that was recently announced by Prime Minister of Malaysia, Yang Amat Berhormat Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin. JENDELA should and will be accelerating the country's digital connectivity through widespread deployment of mobile, fiber, and fixed wireless access, and paving for the rollout of the 5G. And this is to be implemented, and hopefully we will achieve the aims of JENDELA by the year 2022. And I wish to share also with all participants that just a couple of days ago, the Prime Minister chaired the first meeting of a very important platform, which is the National Digital Agenda and Fourth IR Council, which involve 6 clusters, i.e. on digital talent, infra and data, emerging technology, the economy, the social, and also the role and function of government in this digital age and in the fourth IR age. An allocation of 9.4 billion ringgit Malaysia was announced in the budget 2021 in order to develop the national digital strategy across industry sectors, and this will enable us to close the digital gap, perhaps holistically. In the current challenging times, we must continuously innovate for a better future. And this is the main reason why I think all of us should seize the opportunity in participating in TECHFEST 2020. Now, brothers and sisters, I'm sure you will have a very fruitful deliberation. I look forward to hearing what are the new incentive or new memorandums or resolutions that you want to share with us in the government. And it gives me now the great pleasure to officially declare the first ever TECHFEST Live 2020 featuring Road to WCIT Malaysia Open. Thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the opening speech, the opening address from Yang Berhormat Datuk Saifuddin Abdullah, Minister of Communication and Multimedia, Malaysia. Now, that's a big gun launching TECHFEST Live. We've got another heavy-hander right here for you. We are here with the Chief Minister of Penang himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Chow Kon Yeow is here with us. And it must be very exciting, yes, sir?
Thank you, Nas. As the host state, I'm definitely feeling overwhelmed and honored to be hosting this prestigious World IT event. The last time Malaysia hosted it was in Kuala Lumpur in year 2008. And this time, Malaysia is hosting it again in Penang. This is a difficult time. We have been preparing for it since and expecting thousands of participants around the world to fly in and experience the hospitality of Penang and the technology aspect the nation has to offer. However, the COVID-19 pandemic has posed a major challenge. So we do what we can. Instead of bringing you to Penang, we will bring Penang to you, live from this historical city in Georgetown. I have said, don't waste the crisis. The Penang state government is embracing the impacts of the pandemic with a progressive and positive mindset to come out better and stronger, assisting every layer of the society in line with the Penang 2030 vision. This pandemic has also speed up the digitalization and expedite people's acceptance towards technology in their daily lives.
I must agree, it has accelerated the growth or the inception of digital technology. Now my mother, my aunties can come talk together no matter where they are in the world, although they must stay apart. It is COVID-19 after all, yeah? But let's talk about Penang's vision for the future. So why is being part of putting Malaysia on the map of technology? So we want to be in technological conversations. Why is it so? Why is it important for Penang?
Well, for the last few decades, we have been working very hard, and today we want to welcome you to work with us in driving the next innovation and technology forward. With WCIT, we are now in conversation with ICT companies that represent 90% of the world ICT market. Digitalization is the way forward as the state prepares to propel itself towards future growth and prosperity. How Penang would become attractive and relevant would depend on technology and IR 4.0, which involve the digital platform to be its next propeller for economic achievement. As I have said before, the only way forward is to embrace digitalization and technology. I hope after this event, ICT companies will also invest in Penang. I believe that WCIT 2020 will position Penang and Malaysia as the IT gateway to Southeast Asia, connecting the world.
So truly embracing Silicon Valley of the Far East, absolutely.
Yeah, we are the Silicon Valley of the East.
Absolutely right. All right, thank you very much, sir. That's all the time we have for these conversations. If we have a little bit more time, maybe we can invite you back.
Thank you.
And of course, thank you very much for inviting me to your wonderful state of Penang. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. And after this, more conversations with industry giants as TechFest goes live. Stick with us. We'll be back after this. So we'll be speaking to Madam Yvonne Chew, Chairman of the World IT and Services Alliance, WITSA. Yeah, and she's No. Then?
No. I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Let's do this first.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, for those of you who've just joined us, you are watching TechFest Live, a 3-day global technology seminar or get-together. For those of you who love technology, we can connect with each other across the world. We're streaming to 83 countries worldwide. I'm Nazruddin Rahman, your host, and at this juncture, as I promised, powerhouses of the industry. So, just a bit of an overview. It was supposed to be an exciting year for Malaysia, but we'll have a little conversation with these gentlemen and to see where that's come about. So, first and foremost, I'd like to introduce our first panel. We'll be speaking about technology trend to spur possibilities. Yes, if you're interested, please do stick forward. We've got Dato Sri Lee here with us. We've got Dato Yu Tung Siang, Mayor of Penang Island as well. Such an honor for you to be here, sir. And Mr. Danny Lee, the chairman of PICOM, and of course the organizer of this big setup. So we've got 3 gentlemen over here, and we've got 4 gentlemen over here. I would seem to think so. I'm a gentleman as well. So we need a little bit of color. Do you guys think so? You guys think so? Because
totally agree.
Sebagai penyeri orang kata kan. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we'll also be inviting the CEO of MDEC, Miss Surina Shukri. She's online with us right here, right now. Hey, Surina, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening, everybody.
Oh goodness, we're having difficulties listening to your feedback. So we're going to get technical to adjust that so we can hear you loud and clear right here on set, yeah? So, gentlemen, we shall await further rows and a little bit of technical difficulty right here. We'll be solving that right now. But just to have a little bit of conversation right here, yeah? And for the benefit of our audience as well, it was supposed to be an exciting year. 2020, the WCIT was to be here for the second time. Yeah. You know, and as a follower, I was quite excited as well. Wow, we are world beaters, you know. But of course, the pandemic happened. Luckily, COVID-19 has not brought us low, but it hasn't broken us. So at this point in time, Malaysia and the rest of the world, we're fighting an unseen enemy, but we are undaunted. And so, what are your thoughts as we go through the road to WCIT? And then, in 2 years, we'll be hosting it here in 2022. So are we going to go through this road to WCIT and we shall sustain the momentum, so to speak? What say the chairman of PICOM?
WCIT 2020 was supposed to be hosted this year in Penang, but as you rightly put it, right, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we have to postpone that. But while we are planning towards WCIT 2020, they born the event and the satellite event called TechFest 2020 in Penang. Now, with the postponement of WCIT doesn't mean that everything has to be called off. True. So we felt that it's really very important to continue the momentum, to build the momentum towards 2022. Now, what is really important is that when we work with Penang State Government, what we understood that Penang State Government has a vision. So they used to be known as Pearl of the Orient, which is very touristy. Then they went industrialization. But now the state also realized the importance of digitalization moving forward for state of Penang as well as Georgetown as a city. Absolutely. Now, working in Penang, they have a vision of 10 years from now till 2030. And working towards that is that TechFest, if we can start this year, it would be perfect because we can gather both the support of government, which we have from Penang. So here you have Invest Penang, you have the local town council, MPPP, and also the brilliant support of our leader in Penang, our Chief Minister, Yamat Borahmat, Tuan Chow. So it's perfect combination with PICOM as an industry to lead this initiative. Now, what PICOM does is also to work with relevant bodies and agencies, for instance, like MDEC. That's right. You know, to gather the renowned speakers from globally, from around the world. So I guess over the next few days, 3 days, including today, you'll see 120 global leaders from technology standpoint to share with us their know-how, their knowledge, and as well as there will be a tech marketplace where we will showcase probably above 300 new and emerging technologies.
My goodness, so Invest Penang is going to be really excited as well. You're going to have the first pick of all these great technologies. And of course, as the mayor of Penang, Dato' Yu, do you feel that Penang is ready at this point in time to host a global event? So you've got 30 seconds to answer.
Yes. Of course, I think we were so excited and we are so proud that I think we can be host this international event that actually we were prepared since last year actually for this international event. But I think due to the pandemic of COVID-19 here, so we have to hold this event in the new norm here today. But actually, it's a good thing that actually we can leverage on the technology that can make this thing happen. Actually, how to get the whole world together at this moment.
Absolutely. COVID-19 will not break us, it will bring us closer together with technology. So we've got the CEO of MDEC that's here with us. So we're not going to leave her hanging. We're going to go for a quick break. And when we do come back, conversations on how to spur us forward with technology. Stick with us.
So we should be doing this with him, right?
Yeah.
So now you have to re-invite him again so that you can.
Your Excellency, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to be part of the official opening of this special Road to WCIT 2020, organized by WCIT's Malaysia member, the National Tech Association of Malaysia, PECAM. I would like to thank the Malaysia Strategic Partner, MDEC, and our host, the Penang State Government Chief Minister, Chow Guang-Yong. You have been a gem to making this happen. I also wish to welcome all of you for attending either by being in Penang via Astro's live broadcast or live streaming online. As the chairman of World Information Technology Service Alliance, WISA, for the past 4 years, I have had the privilege of participating in the opening ceremony of the 2017 World Congress held in Taipei, Taiwan, the 2018 Congress in Hyderabad, Telangana, India, and 2019 Congress in Yerevan, Armenia. This event will be my last as a WISA chairman. I'm deeply grateful for this opportunity. It had indeed opened my eyes for 4G's great relationship across the world in building a stronger ICT community that is also about using the technology for the benefit of the humanity. Please enjoy the special edition of Road to WCIT Malaysia in 2020. And I hope run into you online. Hope everyone make dream come true. World peace.
World peace, thank you very much. That was Madam Chu, ladies and gentlemen, the chairman of the World IT and Services Alliance, or WITSA, the people responsible for WCIT, and of course, the Kickstarter for TechFest Live, of course, in collaboration with PCOM, the National Tech Society of Malaysia. For those of you who've just joined us, this is TechFest Live, coming to you live on Channel 7 through to Astro, as well as online to 83 countries worldwide. We're still with our movers and shakers, so for those of you who've just joined us, I'm going to just reintroduce just one more time. Over on that end is Mr. Danny Lee, the chairman of PCOM. We've got Datuk Sri Lee of Invest Penang, and of course we got Datuk Yu Tung Siang, who's the mayor of Penang. And so I'd like to ask the three gentlemen, and also let's not forget online we have Surina Shukri, CEO of MDEC, of course the purveyor of government policies to bring us forward. Thank you for joining us, Surina. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I hope everybody is doing well too.
Excellent. So I've got a question for you as well as the gentleman right here. Of all the technological trends that we see, especially if we move towards Industrial Revolution 4.0, which is your favorite? I'm going to start with the lady first.
So I'm going to answer that in two parts. Firstly, when I think about mass adoption, of course we have to talk about mass adoption of digital. So what we're really excited about right now is broad embracement of digital technologies, particularly e-commerce. That's one. Because it's really, really important that we create inclusivity in everybody adopting. And in fact, this year, we saw a rapid 5 years worth of consumer adoption of digital wrapped up in 1 year. On the other side, I'm very, very excited about the early adopters of advanced technologies. For example, drone technology. I'm really, really a big fan of that. And we start to see all of this being adopted broadly as well.
Well, that's more than one, that's for sure. I'm going to stick with e-commerce, and you have a love for drones as well. Thank you very much, Serena, for the answer. Next, we go to maybe Invest Penang. Okay. What's your favorite?
As far as Penang is concerned, we are known as a manufacturing hub. So, and our core competency is very much into electronics, semicon. And if you look at all the technology, new technology they are talking about, whether it is a 5G, whether you're talking about robotics, whether you're talking about artificial intelligence, and all these, that is the sexy technology that we are talking about. The fundamental is actually electronics. So Penang is actually right in the middle of this new innovation.
The Silicon Valley of the East.
Yes,
yeah?
yes.
All right, excellent. So, dear Mayor, we're going to be inviting Yang Amat Berhormat Tuan Chow to join us. So, dipersilakan the Chief Minister of Penang to come and join us. And I'd like to ask you gentlemen to do a special sign for us. So, this is our symbol to reframe, reimagine, and renew. As far as technology is concerned, it is to advance humanity across the globe. So ladies and gentlemen, this is our symbol for TechFest Live. Lots more happening throughout the 3 days. So do stay online and do watch Channel 702 on Astro. This is TechFest Live. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'll give you guys a round of applause.
Thank you.
Well done. Towards the forward-thinking nation of Malaysia.
1967, Penang's free port status was abolished. Its per capita income dropped as low as 12% under the national wage. Businesses struggled as recession hit the Malaysian state with a soaring unemployment rate of 16%. Things got so bad that President of the International Chamber of Commerce predicted Penang would end up as a fishing village. Fortunately, he couldn't be more wrong. In 2010, Penang's capital city, Georgetown, was ranked as the 8th most livable city in Asia, named Penang as the second best place in the world to retire, charting a high record of 16.9 billion ringgit in approved manufacturing investment in 2019. It is also the second highest state in Malaysia in attracting investors from around the world. In fact, Penang has earned its name being home to 39 Fortune 1000 companies, more than 300 multinational companies, and over 1,000 thriving technology startups. How did Penang defy all expectation and achieve the unthinkable? How have local and international investors continued to benefit from its transformational journey with more than 5 decades of accumulated experience? Facing unprecedented uncertainties caused by COVID-19 pandemic, trade wars, environmental changes, and disruptive technologies, what is Penang doing to safeguard the present and future development of ICT sector?
Penang is the leading industrial state in Malaysia. It has a history of about 50 years of electronics and electrical manufacturing here, and we continue to grow. We have an ecosystem that can support this industrial development, and we are a state that gives emphasis on sustainable development. We want to see our people supporting industrial development. Therefore, we encourage STEM education amongst our population, and we believe we have a good quality of life and standard of living here, and it is a preferred choice of destination for tourists and investors alike.
In order to talk about industrialization, you have to go back and look at the economic history of Penang. Penang was established by the British after they obtained land on a lease from Kedah, was to set up a trading center for their development of the entrepot trade. More important, to be used as a place for their ships to bunker and get food and water, and at the same time to protect their trading ships that were passing through here on their way to Hong Kong. And this trade and commerce continued, and since it was a free port, there was no duty on imports and exports. So the whole northern region, southern Thailand, Burma, India, and Dutch East Indies used to send things to Penang for processing, re-export, import to these areas were all done through Penang. So the PDC, when it started its operations in 1970 and was entrusted to take over industrial development, all the responsibilities from the state were transferred together with the assets, that is land, and liabilities with all the loans to the federal government to purchase land. Having promoted Penang successfully, it was demonstrated to investors that the Penang government was a very business-friendly government. That's number one. Number two, doing business in Penang was easy because the PDC was the contact point, and from the PDC's initial experience of promotion, had realized that it is best to promote a concept of a one-stop agency. So you come to PDC with whatever you're doing, what are you investing, and PDC will make sure that you get the clearances from everybody in Penang. That means they don't have to run around here, there. It's just centralized. And because the Chief Minister, as the Chairman, played a very important role in PDC, he was able to get the other government departments, agencies to also cooperate. So what we managed to do was to have this institutional framework created, where all those involved would be involved in approving the growth of industrialization. We're all part of the team.
Well, actually, Ojam has been part of Penang for a very long time. We're one of the 8 samurai pioneers from 1972, a company called Lytronics at the time, which then through 2 or 3 name changes has become Ojam and has grown into one of the biggest employers on the island now. We have 12 buildings on the mainland and 12 buildings on the island, and we have 2 buildings on the mainland employing well over 6,000 people.
After Bayan Lepas Industrial Park shot to the limelight in 1972, many other international companies began to flock to Penang. Since then, more industrial parks were established to cater for new investments need, with Batu Kawan Industrial Park being the latest addition. Now, Penang contributes 8% of global back-end semiconductor output, making it among the world's leading location for microelectronics assembly, packaging, and testing for EMS, for LED, and for storage. Penang is also home for 1/3 of medical devices companies in Malaysia and captures 49% of the country's medical tourism market.
Well, Ojram has traditionally been a light bulb manufacturer. That's where they started from. Nowadays it's much more, and particularly in the automotive sector. So previously we would have made a car headlamp. Now we make an automotive solution. So something like a LiDAR or a sensor or really safety features. So very advanced headlamps that can pick out danger for the driver and can sense other road users.
So Keysight Technology is a global technology company and a future technology enabler. We provide solutions in advanced markets like 5G, wireless communications, the Internet of Things, next generation automotive, be it connected car, electrical car, or autonomous car, aerospace and defense, industrial, and education.
ROAD Solutions is a global leader in mission-critical communications. Our technology platforms in mission-critical communications, command center software, video security and analytics, bolstered by managed and support services, makes cities safer and help communities and businesses thrive.
Micron Semiconductor is the fourth largest semiconductor company in the world, and we offer memory and storage components and solutions.
那个 Hodai Electronic 来到槟城主要是从事 EMS， 也就是电子代工服务那我们就帮助提供这个世界性的这个国际性的公司提供它各方面的电子服务从这个 PCB 的组装一直到成品的这个完成并且运送到全世界各个角落。
はい、我々は日本に本社を置く、半導体の、精密金型、および、樹脂封止装置を、それとですね、その半導体を固変化するシミュレーション装置を作っている製造装置メーカーでございます。
Swarovski is the leading manufacturer of precision cut crystals. It's a world-renowned brand, adding sparkle to people's everyday lives since 1895.
UST Global is an IT and engineering services company. We provide technology services and solutions to our customers who are in Malaysia and around the world.
We are a business process outsourcing organization. We're a global leader providing business-to-business support in technical support, customer service, back office processing, including content moderation, trust and safety, among other services.
Osram chose Penang a very long time ago, and we continue to choose Penang as our major manufacturing site for our entire business. It's the kind of place where we can find the people we need, with the language skills we need to run a multinational business. And for us, it's perfect.
Part of Micron strategy to build a scalable, agile, and world-class manufacturing capacity model to support state-of-the-art products. In November 2018, Micron announced an investment in Penang to build a center of excellence for SSD at Batu Kawan to support the manufacturing of SSD as well as component assembly and test facility.
Our GBS journey began with just fulfilling simple and transactional IT and supply chain management requests for the region. Today, we see our Malaysian GBS operation expanding to global coverage.
This lab would not only support our customers who are existing in Malaysia or the government of Malaysia, but this would also enable all our Fortune 500 customers across the world. So we become their innovation and infinity lab out of Penang. And this is the first one in the Southeast Asia for UST Global, so it's a very exciting moment for us.
Every country has its strength, and we had to make a choice based on a short list of locations. And we continue to be confident that Penang was the right choice that we made.
It's very popularly told that Penang is the Silicon Valley of the East. Because there are very few cities that I know in the world that offer this kind of a blend of all aspects of technology. And personally, the kind of a balance it gets you in work, in opportunities, in the talent pool, and the ecosystem makes Penang very unique against multiple other cities. And if I put another fact of cost, because the other cities that I can think of like San Jose or Bangalore, as compared to Penang, when you compare them, that's the closest comparison I could make. But those have some limitations with respect to a work-life balance or a cost, where Penang beats them all, very, very efficiently. So yeah, that's how I think Penang beats the other cities and countries around the world.
Penang's experience as a tech hub also spurred the growth of local E&E companies with expertise in manufacturing automated test equipment and providing OSAT and EMS services. As of 2019, the top 6 E&E related listed companies in Penang have a combined market cap of 13 billion ringgit, there are many other homegrown companies that remain private.
At Cytrons, we try to provide hardware solutions for students to learn digital making, such as robotics, AI, IoT, 3D modeling, and etc.
We have been involved in this automation for the last 30 years, and we cover semicon, medical, automotive, and we have been doing automation to supply global, and our solution have been supplying to global for last 30 years, and 80% of our solution are export.
So we're actually helping a lot of businesses, including micro businesses, small businesses, and even large enterprises to be found online. Yeah. So our services include email, website, servers, cloud applications, as well as managed private clouds, disaster recovery. So these are very, very crucial and critical components throughout the whole life cycle, because SMEs or businesses, they need to be found online. And when they are dealing with businesses around the globe, they are communicating using all kinds of electronic as well as digital forms, including some of our customers, they are transacting using e-commerce. So all these form part and parcel of a day-to-day business life cycle.
I would say Penang are one of the key automation solution supplier in the world. We can rank, top 10 in the world. Because today you can see Penang export a lot of machines to US, Europe, Japan, Germany. In the past, Malaysia used to import a lot of equipment automation. For the last 30 years, for example, our multinational company, they bring automation machine back to Penang. Now, instead of we import, now we export.
First of all, of course, I'm biased because I'm 100% Penangite. I was born and grew up in Penang. So I love Penang. I see there's a lot of unfair advantage Penang has. For example, you have the talents that is needed to run a tech company. The environment that we live is actually quite cozy. You look around the windows, you can see ocean, you can see mountains, which is something that you can't find in many other cities. So I would say you can get the balance between the technology and lifestyles in the Penang itself. Other things include, for instance, I think living in Penang, right, you save a lot of times in terms of traveling if you compare to, in other bigger cities like a big capital, etc. Apart from that, of course, Penang, you can always get a lot of good food. This is also one of the important reasons, other than the food, the lifestyles. These are some of the very important elements for us to actually attract talents and also retain them as a talents to continue work in Penang.
we see huge demand in our industry where most of the government in this region are pushing very hard to get the school to adopt robotics and coding. So in Sciatron, we are working very hard to get ready to fulfill the demand.
Lately, because of the trade war between US and China, and then there's a lot of trade diversion into Penang especially, because we have a good track record. So for us, Pentamuscle will continue to expand, to take this opportunity to support the trade diversion, not only in Penang, not only in Malaysia, because trade diversion, they can be in the whole ASEAN country like Vietnam, like Thailand, Indonesia, and opportunity also coming out in India. So this is another big opportunity market for Pentamuscle.
Penang 2030 vision is created as a living document to guide Penang towards the year 2030 with the tagline, a family-focused, green and smart state that inspires the nation. There are 4 themes and 16 strategic initiatives in the vision that covers every aspect of development in Penang.
Mega multinational players of the globe here, and we also have Fortune 500 companies located right here in our parks. But we are not talking about industries only. They are not about factories only. They are also businesses we have spawned and benefited from the operations here. Example, the transport industry, the food industry, the hospitality industry, property developers, and so on. By developing this industrial park, PDC has surely elevated Penang's economy from the agrarian one it was way back in 1960s and early 70s to what it is today, the much touted Silicon Valley of the East.
The Digital Transformation Master Plan is in the process of drafting by Digital Penang and is scheduled to be launched in December later this year. The master plan is a cross-domain strategy that will chart how Penang can extend our comparative advantages in the digital era. Digital infrastructure, particularly fiber connectivity, is the most important basic building block of going digital. Therefore, the Penang Connectivity Master Plan will map out its implementation. The master plan will also look at how Penang can continue to dominate the manufacturing sector by building new capabilities in adjacent sectors, one which being considered is software engineering. Additionally, Penang will aim to attract new software anchors. This will boost the viability of ICT sector by building critical mass in order to match the supply and demand for technology talent. Within the government, the plan will focus on how the state government can use data to make better data-driven decisions to the benefit of the people, increasing both effectiveness and efficiencies of government services.
I think 5G is most essential for this. Full fiberization of an industrial park is paramount to developing a state-of-the-art industrial park. A park with an ever-progressing and ever-evolving information and communication technology infrastructure is ideal, and that is the way now and the way forward.
Operating in Penang has allowed us to be able to capitalize on this opportunity. How? One is the strategic location of Penang that gives us access to the fastest growing region and markets. Number 2 is the presence of a very well-developed local supply chain ecosystem, high technology ecosystem that help our engineers accelerate our innovations faster.
This is going to be a big opportunity for Pentamuscle to further grow our revenue, further expand our technology through a learning process, and also will bring Malaysia or Pentamuscle or Penang to the next state of the art of the technology to compete into the into this territory of 5G.
Southeast Asia has a population base of over 600 million people, and it is a growing economy over here. And investors can come to Malaysia to use Malaysia as a gateway to reach out to the rest of Southeast Asia. And there are ample opportunity for investors to use us in Southeast Asia to connect with the rest of the world.
I think you've got to come here to look for yourself, to see the uniqueness, the USP of Penang.
Come to Penang. We are at the forefront. We pave the way and lead the way. We run, not march, to our own dramas. We are ready to work.
Penang is a great place, a good gateway into ASEAN. Again, any businesses that starts, you're looking at basic things like infrastructure. Penang has great infrastructure in the backdrop of UNESCO heritage city.
Over the years, it has been confirmed by tourist organization, tourists, that they find Penang a very livable place, and some of the magazines has informed tourists that in their lifetime they should at least visit Penang once.
The food, of course, the friendly people, and the environment which is green and clean. And beyond all, it's a peaceful state. It's very vibrant. Culture, heritage, you name it, we have it. And we love staying in Penang.
Well, let me start with food. Obviously, it has the world-class food. Secondly, it has the historical and the vibrant city.
So Penang has its old soul and a very young heart. That's what we love most about Penang.
My wife loves the social circles she has. She feels that Penang is like a family. Although they are friends who keep and go because there are a lot of expatriates moving in and out of Penang. My daughters love their school. Penang offers a lot of international schools and they have great friends. They get to learn a lot. I personally love it because I have to travel very little to work. If I were in Kuala Lumpur or I were in Bangalore or California, I can only imagine a couple of hours that I have to spend on the road every day. Penang, you can get to one place from other within a few minutes. That's my favorite, and we love it in Penang. It's home for us.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Nazreen Rahman and Sarah Lian back as promised. This is TechFest live, coming to you live from Georgetown, Penang. Now, Sarah, so far we've had some pretty hot interview sessions. We've had
Yes.
the Chief Minister of Penang here as well.
Yeah.
And right now, I'm just glad I'm back here with you on stage.
Me too.
And we've got someone else right here
That's
for our next
right.
segment.
That's right. We have Arzumi, the CTO of Fave, that's going to be
Hi.
joining us. I think he's
Ah.
no stranger to the startup scene. So this segment is Tech Marketplace, and it's all about tech. It's all about these companies that have really been doing a lot of fantastic things. You've had a chance to look at some of this stuff. What do you think, Arzumi?
Yeah, it's all like pretty interesting. I think the good things about being a digital or tech startup, you can start in Malaysia and actually go really global. And hopefully tonight we can highlight like all these companies.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got big players such as Carousel, and we've seen how they've expanded throughout the globe. We've seen the success of Uber at one time, succeeded by Grab, and this region of the country. And I see it going further. There's no limit, there's no borders when we talk about technology, right?
Yes, yes.
So here at Tech Marketplace, what we're going to do is we're going to feature, as you said earlier, technologies that have been developed by Malaysians. So it's going to be like a home shopping network for
I love it already.
Anything we shopping. Yes, Sarah's on.
Is there going to be a buy button down
I'm
here?
going to be your lifestyle angle, how you can apply these businesses into your life.
Speaking of businesses, I know that both of you have your own business.
Yes.
And of course, you are Fave after all. So what is the power of email in this time? Especially when we have so many applications to communicate with one another. Is email still relevant?
Absolutely.
I would say so, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
A huge communication tool, yes, absolutely.
There you go. So we've got our first entrepreneur who will be joining us here on set. So I'll leave it to the both of you to introduce who they are.
Of
because
course.
I don't have a business with email. It's all connected with other applications as well. So we're going to be talking about our first guest. The first one. Oh, actually.
That's right.
I just got the call.
That's
All
right.
We're actually going to be talking about another application for those of you who love to eat.
That's right. We have
Yes.
Sabah from Silnex. We have, we're going to be talking to them, and why don't you take a look at this little video.
This is Tapao, T-A-B-A-O. I know you're very used to spelling it C-A-P-A-U, but it's actually just the same thing. Tapao means Tapao in Mandarin, or perhaps Tapao in Cantonese. But the Tapao that we're introducing to you today is like none other. It's not the conventional one where you come in, order your food, you get it elsewhere and eat. But this Tapao is just a few clicks away from your home. All you have to do, back at home with all your comfort, order and you get it. Right now, we are at Nasi Lemak Kentang Kambu Star to Tapao. They are known for their nasi lemak, specifically the nasi lemak ayam goreng rempah. I'm just gonna dive right in. It's interesting that how I myself as a Penangite have never been to this place. It feels as if this secret gem is really this known to the locals. People beyond the 1 kilometer radius probably never heard about this. Maybe they should do more marketing, maybe more WhatsApp, or maybe they should speak to some people who could run their platforms. Or maybe we could speak to the Tauke and see how we could get more people on Tapao our way. Hi Puan Khairun, how are you doing today?
Good, great.
What's your signature dish over here?
I would say it's our nasi lemak ayam goreng rempah.
Nasi lemak ayam goreng rempah. I'm literally rolling over this right now. So what are the marketing efforts that we usually do for this dish?
Okay, since the MCO period right now, so we are really focusing on online delivery so that people can still get our food in the safety and comfort of their home.
Right, getting the food at the safety. Oh wow, speaking of which, food is here. We're gonna try and we'll give you a verdict about this nasi lemak ayam goreng rempah. Now, isn't it amazing that as I'm doing an Instagram live story, or perhaps a live story on any social media platform, and any one of you who's watching them back at home, let's say within the same vicinity or within a 10-kilometer radius, is able to taste and order the same thing as I do? Sounds cool, isn't it? You know what? Let's give it a try. Oh wow, it's aromatic, it's pungent, and it's definitely worth trying out. You know what? As I'm talking to you right now, there's a QR code that will appear on the screen. All you have to do is just scan it and do whatever it says and order your food. And the good news about tonight is that for the first 150 customers, TECHFEST will be buying you supper. Yes, you heard that right. Your meal is on TECHFEST. Therefore, just click on it, go on and order, you'll be eating the same food. In short, Taobao is an ordering technology with payment ability and also delivery service plus marketing. You know what? I'm a huge fan of nasi lemak, and this really hits smacks on right at the taste bud, ladies and gentlemen. Try it at home. I'm not kidding.
Thank you very much. That was Bernard Loh. Oh my goodness, eating nasi lemak. That's our national dish, by the way.
I am so hungry now.
But these guys gonna take my job. I'm the food show.
He basically said, you know, if you download this app, 150 people can get this right now. That's amazing. That's Taobao for you.
Should we do that now? Like, I didn't bring my phone.
So what Taobao all about? We've got the entrepreneur right here with us. So we're going to put him on the hot seat. That's why the seat is red. Mr. Yung Ken, are you ready to be grilled by us?
I'm not, but well, I'm here.
But you're here anyway. So why don't you let us know what Taobao is all about?
So Taobao is actually a concept that we actually combine everything. I think it started with us watching a lot of, you know, nowadays you watch a lot of food review shows. But I'm always very lazy to find out where it goes. I always think, can I just order when I look at the show?
Exactly.
So, but with food delivery, why not? So we thought about it, and we actually have the technology to do it. So we just put two together. So Taobao is actually a concept that lets you watch a review and then participate in the show and then actually be able to eat together with the host as well. So it is all in one system. It allows you to take orders, you know, do payment, and it comes with delivery as well.
Well, I'm sure you're looking towards more features to be included into the application. So when I look at Taobao, I look at it as the Frankenstein of food applications, you know, because when you're familiar with food as well as I am, you started out with, first of all, food reviews, videos, and then people started making applications. They were more of directories, right? So what prompted you to add all these other elements in? I mean, we've got a e-commerce segment to it. You've combined it with content. You come up with your own content, and we talk about linking together this content with the viewers. I'd say you're trying to form a food community. Am I right or wrong?
I think it's right. At the end of the day, I think what you say, community is the right word. We feel that we should empower the community to actually be able to do their own technology. So what we did is that the Taobao itself, actually, you can run your own shows, and then you can allow people to actually order from you. I know a lot of micro merchant, actually, they did their own live shows themselves. So they shouldn't be limited by needing to go to other, to be other solution that needs to pay a premium to actually get the technology to be able to take orders and do delivery. So what we did is we are combining everything together. But if you ask me privately, it's just because I always like to say, because I'm lazy. So I wanted to put everything together, so make it easy for me. So when I see a food review, I like it, I can just Taobao it.
I mean, I don't think that being lazy is necessarily a bad thing. I think because you are probably not the only person that's lazy, and we all want access to this kind of information. This is why we have like great apps.
But these are the tenets of IR 4.0. We talk about people like you who are disrupting the whole process and the whole industry, and we talk about collaborations as well. You work with people, you work with communities, and your viewers as well. It's a two-way thing, not just a one-way thing.
Absolutely, and I think that's very, very key. Well, I think we are going to head over to a commercial break.
I think we shall. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having
what
us.
Taobao is. So for those of you guys who are feeling hungry at the moment because of Bernard over there eating his nasi lemak, so log on to Taobao, download the application, and be a part of the community as well.
That's
and the URL is like pendekar.dabao.my.
That means you're a
Correct.
food lover,
We've
lah,
got
ni.
150 people. If you're watching, you're going to be able to get that nasi lemak that we just looked at.
Very cool. Stick with us. We'll be back right after the break.
welcome back to TechFest Live. We have Azumi, we have Naz, we have myself, and we also have a wonderful guest.
All right.
We are talking about, this is Tech Marketplace. We're talking about a lot of really interesting companies. And we have Jeffrey Hamid, the fleet commander.
Phew.
That's
Fleet
right,
commander.
of Engine Mailer. Welcome.
No worries, you're the second most good-looking man in this set after Arzuni.
Thank you.
That's right.
Now,
I'm for a distant third.
I cannot pick this.
Sarah's not even in the picture.
Okay.
No worries, no
So,
worries. I have
let's-
no hands on your husband, no
Let's
problem.
get back to Engine Mailer. Why did this start?
Okay. Let me tell you the story on why we started it, right? It's definitely not by chance. We run an existing email business for the enterprises. So we send currently over hundreds of millions of emails for the big brands out there, right? But I think for the team, you know, what's hundreds of millions of emails on a monthly basis? So it's the desire that us wanting to send 1 billion emails, not a month, but in a day. So I think that's the drive that got us going, right? So instead of the enterprise model, which, you know, it's a lot of challenges when you try to scale it globally. Right?
Absolutely.
So we started this SaaS business, and fortunately today, we have thousands of subscribers, not only locally, but internationally. And it's good all the way from freelancers to micro businesses, small, medium enterprises, and also the large corporates. And the good news is this is a Malaysian-made product.
Excellent. And you cover the whole 9 yards as well.
Yeah,
Big players
yeah,
or small,
yeah,
he's got it made, yeah?
No, it's great. I mean, there's a lot of different aspects to the business that you have, and having, you know, subscribers all around the world also
We're going to press
helps
the
kinda
pause
add-
button a little bit. We've got a special package just for you. So let's take a look at this. There you are. So we've got it on there.
Oh, it's got that?
There you go. So you can elaborate a little bit on how this would benefit. Let's say I'm a budding entrepreneur. I've got about, I intend to capture a market of 50,000 people to buy my Ubat Ajaib. So how would I go about it?
So I think the misconception a lot of people have is, you know, if you start emails, you're going to be successful, right? Start blasting emails. But it all starts with having a proper database or subscriber base to begin with. I think that's where we need to nurture the smaller businesses out there, right?
I see.
So if you look at the thing, it's like all the way problems from importing the database. You have dirty data, you have duplicate data. So I think, these are things that's very important from a platform standpoint for the smaller companies to actually clean it up before you start on your email marketing journey. So these are all features that we've sort of like pre-built into Engine Mailer to help you with that journey itself. The part about segmentation, if you look at it, right, you can actually, not every message is a Happy New Year.
Yes.
Yeah, you want to target, right, different segments of people. So very simple tools to petition who you can target and who you can send your emails to. I think that's very important as well, right? And finally, you took at forms, very common questions. I'm a very small business. I don't have a database to begin with. Well, everybody's got to start somewhere. Right?
Yes.
So the rule that you shouldn't be doing is go and buy the database, but you can easily, you know, use tools to build your online forms, put it on your website, put it as a call to action on your Facebook, your social presence, and start collecting.
This is
those
really
databases.
easy to do.
Yes. So it's all meant for someone like you and me. I'm not technical to actually do.
Are you sure you're not technical? I mean,
I would say, we've got a technical guy here.
Yeah, we know each other. Like Johari mengenal
Mengenal Manikam. But let's ask the CTO of Fave right here. So that trend that you were talking about where people buy their databases versus building your own. So what do you think about that? Do you think, do you agree with this strategy?
I guess probably not going to directly answer that. Probably going to like throw that question to you. Let's say I'm a social media influencer, right? I have like 100,000 followers. Yeah. Is email still relevant to me?
Yes, I guess we got to understand that whole digital pyramid, the funnel, right? It starts with awareness, then targeting, then you go into conversion, right? So the social media elements start as I want to create awareness. This is what I do. You know, you go after a big audience of people. At some point, when you get the customers or your consumers that are interested in your business, then you say, hey, can you give me your email address? Can I have your phone number? And slowly build their customer profiles. the moment they give you their contact details, that's when email kicks in. It's very targeted because you already know what they're interested in and how you're going to go after them. So thereafter, there are many various ways or different ways you can engage them through email. I think that's the concept.
Yeah, and I think the funnel is really important, and that really does pose a really interesting question because, you know, we have influencers now. They've amassed huge followings, but sometimes we hear they didn't even manage to get 5 T-shirt sales and whatnot, and that's the convergence that you worry about.
This is what I must agree with Jeffrey right here. So social media is about awareness. You will get very low conversion, and although you have 100,000 followers, will your 100,000 followers, yes, will they buy your product?
That's true.
It's a nice picture, you know, you say nice things, but will you convert it into money? So do you feel that email has a better chance for conversion compared to engaging on social media?
Oh, definitely. I mean, if you look at statistics, I think it shows that for every dollar spent on email, it's a 4,200% ROI.
My goodness.
But I'm not saying it's for everyone, only if you do it correctly.
That's a disclaimer.
He's basically saying, if you sign up with Engine Mailer, that you'll be doing it correctly.
Correct, and that is a challenge, or that is a barrier that we are trying to break, you know, because the smaller companies, we are dealing with SMEs that are afraid to even put their credit card to subscribe for a service.
That's true.
So let's not, you know, so we are trying to handhold them. So I think in Engine Mailer, I mean, locally, what's been very successful for us is we put a WhatsApp number, right?
Oh,
so our sign-ups, even international sign-ups, WhatsApp is global. They just want to ask you very simple questions, right? And that's one of the success factors that we've managed to onboard people, not only to send those emails, but to get them to continue to send emails.
I love that.
Itulah dia, kejayaan untuk ubat ajaib Nazruddin Rahman bergantung kepada Engine Mailer.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here in this segment. We really appreciate your time. Yeah, thank you so much, Jeffrey. And we're going to head over to commercial break, and we'll be back soon.
All right, stick with us. We'll be back right after this.
Everyone.
Hold on. There you go. Go for it.
Back, everyone. And thanks for still sticking around. And don't forget to order your tapao from the URL that we gave before.
Sempat dia promo orang lain.
We got a third. There we go.
Welcome back to TECHFEST, ladies and gentlemen. Myself, Naz. Well, Zumi, of course, you met him, CTO of Fave. And yes, Sarah Lian. Ever festive as always. So, we're going to move on to our next entrepreneur. Have you seen those smart vending machines that they're running around. So it's got some special features as well. It's got touch screen. You can pay with your debit card.
Yeah.
You've seen that around, right?
I mean, I just think it's amazing. It's really great technology.
Absolutely, especially with taking the fact that sometimes you're not bringing coins around. There are people who are walking around cashless already, right?
Who brings coins anymore?
There you go. But once in a while, I'm thirsty. I would like a can of a soft drink or a juice or something. And there's that vending machine, and you have no coins.
Yeah.
So what do?
You pull up your phone.
Or you take out your debit card or credit card, whatever it is, and you can make that payment, yeah? So this is a technology brought about by Silkron Technology, specializing in smart vending and automated retail features and functionality, which works for different types of new and existing vending machines, so you can upgrade vending
And
machines.
I think that's the best way because it's not about waste and you really add on technology to whatever already exists.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think about that in tech?
Simplify what you said just now.
Yes.
That sounds so confusing. So what it is a system that can integrate with all the existing vending machines out there, right? And make them smart. You know, when you talk about IoT or 5G, you know, people talk about this, but what does it mean? Right? And this is one way of doing it. You know, this dumb machine where just like stand alone, now you can actually connect them and make them smarter. So older or new one, using the solution from Silkron called Vendron vending machine. Right?
Vendron vending machines,
Vendron
platform. Wow.
Yeah, so it's a cloud management, RFID, and it's also contactless payment. So I think there's a lot of these things that makes it more smart, right? These elements in there.
This is the best part. Can you imagine if you're the owner of a vending machine and you put it there? I mean, the conventional way, you got to go open up. How much coins do I have today? Imagine this vending machine giving you sales reports. Oh. There you
just
go.
wait. And not just that, right? So if the vending machine is sick, i.e. broken, you will get notification.
Exactly.
Or like you are almost out of stock, right? Almost sold out. Then it will give you notification. So you don't have to go every day and go and check.
Can you imagine the business lost if it's broken or it gets empty and you won't know about it till maybe you schedule a once a week check? You'll miss out on 6 days of business. That's really, really
I just
unacceptable.
love that we have so many stories about vending machines, about the possibilities of what happens,
I
what
want a
goes
vending
wrong. You know, I mean, I think it's amazing, and I definitely want to speak to Kun, and he's the CEO of Silkron Technology. Hi, Kun. How are you?
How you doing, man?
Hello. Hi. Good evening. I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you for making our vending machines smarter than they are. They're actually smarter than my next door neighbor. So, all right. So, what gave you the idea? Were you sleeping in bed and suddenly, boom, I want to make a smart vending machine?
Wow. Okay. So, actually, vending machine has been there since more than 30 years ago. Okay? And then it has been a very simple dumb box there, right? You go there, you press the button, you insert your money, and you get the product, right? So we were lucky to be one of the very first few pioneers back in 2010 in this smart vending technology, okay? Where we think of there's much more that the vending machine can offer by being smarter, okay? So since then, we continue to focus on it and create and continue to grow our smart vending and automated retail platform.
I'm impressed with the features that you've put in your vending machines, and so far the entrepreneurs that we've brought on set and the ones we're talking to now, I see a lot of human-centric approach when you come up with your solutions. So is this a philosophy from Silkron to think about things from the customer point of view, and also, I mean, when I talk about customer, it's not the person buying the vending machine, it's the person investing in that vending machine, not just the products inside. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so actually our mission is actually to connect people to what they need, right where and when they need it around the world. Okay, so having that as our mission, our platform is actually a platform. It's not just a specific software product. Okay, it's a platform that encompasses, allow all different ecosystem partners to be together, to interact together, and to benefit from this platform. Okay, this can be each ecosystem partners can be the machine manufacturers. Okay, it can be the vending operators, it can be the machine service team, And also, it can be the investor, like you mentioned just now, or even the end user who interact with the platform through the vending machine or through their mobile apps.
Ah, interesting, interesting indeed.
I have a technical question here. Since you opened up the API for these vending machines, right? What are interesting projects that have been done by your partners or maybe like you yourself using this API? Any interesting stories there?
Yeah, actually one of the key characteristics of our platform is that we offer the scalability through our Vendron platform API. Okay, this allows our customers or even the system integrators or third-party programmers to create whatever features. Okay, it open up actually unlimited possibilities for them to create it can be an interactive content like games or surveys and on the vending machine for the user to participate and then get some reward upon completing the games or the survey. And on top of that, there can be also other integrations such as on the cloud side, okay, where we also allow third party to develop their own mobile apps to integrate their apps into the platform so that they can allow their users to interact remotely with the machine, such as, for example, to order a product in their phone and then later go to the machine and just select from it. Of course, they have already paid for it in their mobile phone.
That's
so these are
awesome.
some of the things that we done.
Thank you so
Excellent.
much. Yes.
Excellent. So next time my portal has a particular competition, maybe online, so just just go
We can do that, yeah.
and just go claim it at the vending machine. That's
Thank you
great.
so much, Kun. Really appreciate it. Thank
Kulo,
you
you
very
make us
much.
proud. Well done,
We're
well
going to go on
done.
a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Well done. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who've just joined us, if you're watching us live on Astro Channel 702 or if you're watching us online, well, this is the tech marketplace. We've interviewed quite a few entrepreneurs that have impressed me very, very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very, very much,
I completely agree.
As
It's
a
been
tech
fantastic.
guy, are you impressed?
Yeah, definitely.
Very cool, man. So we're going to talk about security. We're talking about smart ID solutions. So our next focus is comms technologies.
Comm technology.
Comms Technologies provides cost-effective and leading smart ID solutions that empowers organizations to operate in smart environments. So, to explain a little bit more about what Comms Technologies does, ladies and gentlemen, let's invite Ms. Koh Lee Ching to join us, the founder of Comms Technologies. Hey, Ms. Koh, how are you doing?
Hi, fine, thank you. Yeah.
My goodness, when I read about you in the profile, wow, so gaya-gaya. It's nice to see you at home, and your curtains are so calming on the nerves.
It's nice to join us here at TechFest.
Work from home.
Work from home, stay safe. So, tell us where this idea came about and what's your objective for Comms?
Okay, well, to be frank, the company is not new. We are almost 2 decades already in business. When I first started, my idea was about enabling multi-application onto your smart cards, which was at that time your, I think one of the core identification that you can use. But nowadays, obviously, your identification can be in any form. Yeah, it could be a wristband, it could be a mobile phone, biometrics, and so on. But the premise of multi-application is still there. So what we do is we help organizations, normally with a large user base. So this could be education, manufacturing, large corporates, clubs, even prisons, yeah, where they want to be able to effectively manage their identification and then tie into what are the various applications that they can enable based on knowing who that person. So we have now, I think, a whole suite of solutions, basically looking at allowing the community, so this could be students, the staff, yeah, the club members to basically do their own self-service application, yeah, or to look at certain applications like your attendance, your meal allowance redemption, yeah, cashless, so parents can top up, and kids can actually then go and spend at the canteen, the bookstore, and parents can view the transactions. We also have things like visa management. I think now with the COVID environment, yeah, you want to be able to make sure the visitors coming into your premise is properly vetted. You know, they don't have high temperature. You collect all the contact details, and you know who they are going to be.
Absolutely, I think
we have a whole set of solutions, yeah, that covers looking at companies who want to do some form of automation to improve their productivity, so that they don't have to maintain too many workers to manage their community.
Yeah, I mean, it just sounds like there's a lot of information that you're able to manage, especially in a time like this. You're really able to test this out, check-ins, security guards, students, whatnot. Yeah, this is really amazing.
But among the 4 technologies you shared with us, the EDI Purse, the facilities booking system, the safe pickup, the safe scan and go, which one is your favorite?
My favorite is the temperature scanner.
The temperature scanner.
Because this one is like even cooler, right? You can scan like 4 or 5 individuals at the same time.
Yeah.
Because how many times you need to queue?
Exactly, exactly. I wanted to say the same thing, safe scan and go. My goodness, especially during COVID-19, Mademoiselle, you have saved us a lot of trouble.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be heading on to the next business, but we really do appreciate you sharing with us.
Absolutely
a lot about
right,
business.
absolutely right. And let's hope that your technology will be shared not just here in Malaysia. COVID-19 is global.
Yep.
Let's hope we can share this technology across the globe. Let's make Malaysia famous on the world map. Thank you, Ms. Koh.
Thank you.
Excellent. I was quite impressed with that, actually.
No, I mean, it's so vital right
Yes.
now. If we're looking at what's happening with the business, with the world right now, all the information that you're going to need when people come in, check out, all those kind of things. Yeah, it's very crucial.
Well, speaking
about check-in and
check-in and
check
check-out.
out. I like that check-in, check-out.
We are in sync. You know, handsome people usually are in sync.
But now
I'm
continue.
sorry.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
Hey, hello.
Now, don't feel left out. Don't feel left out. You're the most beautiful person right here in this circle.
Thank you.
There you go.
Limitations, right?
But when we talk about, cashing in, cashing out,
Yeah.
we're talking about speed rent.
Yep.
Yeah, this application, especially for those of you who are landlords, you're looking to rent out your property, you know the troubles that come with it. First of all, working with the real estate agents, spreading their word out there. And nowadays you can put it on platforms such as Muda and this and that. But you still have to keep both eyes on the ball.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The property market is, everyone has gone through it. Either you've had to rent from someone, you are going to rent it out, you want to purchase.
That's right.
There's so much processes that are happening, and this is a fantastic way to just make everything so simple.
Yes, we talk about speed rent technology, and for this particular segment, we're going to invite our Mr. Wong. How are you? Yes, you're online. Hi, Wong. Oh, we got some issues with your sound. Can you hear us?
Are you on mute?
Maybe you're on mute. No, sometimes that happens to me. I'm like looking for the mute button. Where's the mute button?
I think
Where's
that's
the mute
like the
button?
key thing right now. Are you on mute?
He's put his earbuds on. Can you hear us? If you can hear us, nod.
He can hear us.
He can hear us.
But can you hear? We can't hear you.
But we can't hear you
I guess we
yet.
need to use hand signal then.
Can we use hand signals for this particular interview? All right. Can we safely say that speed rent will put real estate agents out of business?
Let's not be a negative
No,
Debbie
I'm not going to be
Downer.
negative. This is a disruptor. Speed rent is a disruptor. If you're a disruptor, put your thumbs up. Do you see yourself as a disruptor?
Oh no, it's a side
Wow.
thing. This is the way I would say it.
Yeah.
They are innovating, they are revolutionizing the property market right now. They
Exactly. And
But
it's not a zero-sum
they're
game,
all-
I don't
yeah.
think so, right?
Yeah.
It's like collaborations with the existing market, which is the
There we
real estate
go.
agents, and also the new
Let's ask Wong himself. Do you feel it's more of a collaboration between those who are working the scene and your application? You know, will it supersede the other, or do you see something in between?
Okay. Can you read lips? Probably.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we cannot hear a thing you're saying, bro. I can see your mouth moving here and everywhere.
no.
My goodness. Oh, wow.
But you know, I mean, based on what we've seen,
Yep.
this is amazing that it's come
Yeah.
out of Malaysia.
Mhm,
People are able to have a bit more trust in the property market. They've got things like zero down. I mean, this really is advantageous for a lot of people.
Okay.
So,
Let's do it this way. If this agrees with you, Wong, put up your 2 thumbs up, okay? So, Speed Homes notable achievements. Less than 72 hours from browsing to homes to viewing and moving in. Yes or no? Yeah? Less than 72 hours from browsing
All right.
for homes to viewing and move in.
Yeah.
Up or down? 72 hours. Are you sure? Yes, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, he says yes, yes,
all
yes, yes.
right.
12 hours, 58 minutes is the record time it takes to rent a property. Yes or no?
Yes.
12 hours, 58 minutes. 320,000 application downloads with an average rating of 4.85.
Wow.
Is this true?
Yes, we've got the facts. Don't worry, we got your back, Wong.
And here's the best part. 517,000 tenant inquiries,
Wow.
over 500,000 chat requests so far on Speed Rent. Yes?
Yeah.
And probably still counting.
Yeah, and 89,000 property listings at this point, a long list of zero deposit homes to choose from. My goodness, you have done so much in just a couple of years. Wong, we take our hat off to you. If I was wearing a hat, I'd chuck it off to you right now. All right? So continue to do the good work that you do. Give us 2 thumbs up. All right? And we're going to wrap
Alright.
things up. We're going to go for a quick commercial break,
Yes,
okay?
that's right. Quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Thanks, Mr. Wong. We'll see you
Thank
after
you.
this.
And we are back. Oh, we are in the heat of it. We almost have no time because we keep talking about all these amazing companies. You're joining us here at Tech Live.
That's right. I'm Nas, Sarah Lian, and
Azumi. Yes.
Okay, let's feature our next entrepreneur. Who is he?
His name is Yap Tiao Huat. He's the Chief Operating Officer of Arctron Research and Development. They are known for Blue Guard, and it's all about smart homes. So if you've ever seen someone controlling their lights, locking things, all that stuff with their smartphone, unbelievable. We have this technology here in Malaysia. So if you ever worry about safety or anything like that, we have this option here. I am so impressed.
That's right. It's called the Back to the Future company. You know, I love watching that movie. We go lights, camera, So who do we speak to? Yes, we call the Blue Guard Smart Home Technology. Congratulations. So the Blue Guard Smart Home Z-Wave offers you the ability to control lighting, aircon.
Yes.
You can control temperature.
Yep.
You can control your blinds.
Everything lah.
Smart plugs. Smart plugs. I don't know where these
Can
plugs.
it grow faster?
Really?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, let's not assume. We have Mr. Yap here. Yap, why don't you let us know what Blue Guard's all about?
Blue Guard, hello, good evening, everyone. First and foremost, Blue Guard platform that actually integrate in alarm and smart home features. So imagine that you have one sensor installed at home, vibration sensor. So in the event
Mr. Yap, can you bring your microphone closer to your mouth? Can you bring your microphone closer to your mouth? So we can hear you better.
Yeah. Okay, is it okay?
Just bring it closer.
Just hold your mic towards...
See the thing dangling on your ears? There's a square thing there.
Okay.
There's a microphone. You bring it closer to your mouth.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
There you go.
Can you bring it
Okay. So imagine that you have no sensor connected to your house, vibration, motion sensor. So in the event of change, the system will initial call to let you know that particular so that you can take an immediate action or maybe probably on. So basically we have a we have L series and B series and T series. L and B series can script for the security alarm system. But for those who want to have automated team of appliances, they will actually put up T series that allow them to automate price. For instance, your price, your car support, pricing, that allows you to control remotely from mobile apps and from the web as well.
I'm impressed with the level of control that you have using the Blue Guard security system, yeah? And so, any notable achievements for Blue Guard and Arcon?
On the destination side, we are working closely with all the top tier like IGN, Capova, EcoWorld. So right now, in case the house from EcoWorld, most likely it come with the
all right.
So you don't have to purchase they come built in and you just call the installer.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Yap. Thank you.
Thank you so
I want to
much.
ask how much it costs actually, but you know what? We'll save that conversation for another day.
I think we're going to have to talk to the next company.
That's right.
But thank you so much for joining us.
Very cool, man.
Yeah,
So if you're looking for security, well, you know who to look for.
Yeah, I like it.
Especially people breaking into your homes and kacawing you jambu boy.
I like this control
Well,
session
for the next company that we're going to be talking to, I think I do know it personally because I use it myself.
Oh, yes.
This is something that I had just discovered and I've been using it for the past couple of years. So kaki tangan is a homegrown, as we know. Kaki tangan is obviously a Malay word.
Yes.
And it's been so helpful. It's been so helpful. It's an HR resource, and we have Evan Koo.
Yes, that's right. Mr. Evan.
He is the founder. He is joining us now on this call. Hi, Evan. How are you?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Well
Yes,
done.
yes.
Keep your microphone there so we can hear you loud and
Yes.
clear. And we must say, everyone, thank you for saving our lives. We have our own human resource department,
goodness,
despite
yes.
the fact that I only have 15 staff.
Yeah, the payroll feature. Like, I could even talk about your company because
Yeah.
I use it all the time. So,
Tell you what,
yeah.
let's save it, let's save it.
Let's hear it from
Tell
the
us
guy.
what Kaki
Let's hear from you. How did this get started?
I think at the end of the day, 15 staff is totally fine, right? When we talk about kaki tangan, the most important thing is not kaki and tangan. It's actually the kita in the middle of kaki tangan.
I see.
So you and Nugget.
Hello, you're breaking up, sir?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I was saying the most important thing about kakitangan.com
Yeah.
is not kaki tangan that
Tangan.
kaki and tangan. It's actually KITA, the kita in the between of kaki tangan.
Kita.
That's the part.
So
That's
actually
the
you
part.
and I, we do it together.
Very cool, very cool. And I love the fact that
Very philosophical.
philosophical and clever lah, orang kata clever. Yeah.
What are some notable achievements that you've had so far? You know, I know that I started a couple years ago. So where are you headed now?
We are currently having about 5,000 companies hosting on kaki tangan actively. So there are about 50,000 out there. So 50 is 15 is considered a bigger one already. So we are talking about every month we generate the payroll and payslip. We have already generated 3 billion ringgit worth of payroll so far.
My goodness, 20 billion already generated. I'm sure you're going to be a rich man very, very soon. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, Evan. So not to worry, Kaki Tangan is close to our hearts. We'll speak more about it later on. Thank you for your time,
Thank you
man.
so much for your time. What an amazing feat, yes. And we're going to be heading off to a break. We'll be right back.
Billion. Faith, how? Cannot. Malu. Tutup. Welcome back. This is our final segment on Tech Marketplace. Yes, this whole program has been TechFest Live. 3 days of going live from Penang, Georgetown. And right now, we're with our final entrepreneur called Bill Please.
That's right. Bill Please is a payment platform for merchants. If you're ever trying to hunt for money, this is probably the best kind of company that is going to help you.
So, Zumi, I think this one, you take it away.
Yeah.
You seem to be quite close
Yeah.
to Mr. Zakwan here.
And then we have Zakwan on the line here, right? Zakwan, like, what's up? Give me 5. All right, so there's like so many misconceptions around Bill Please, you know, like some thinking it's a payment gateway or what does like payment platform means, you know, like maybe you want to like describe a bit on that.
Okay, sure, cool. That's a good question, Azmi. Basically, Bilkis, a lot of people confuse us for being a payment gateway. We are not. We are actually a payment platform. So what do? Is we integrate our merchants directly with the payment processors of their choices to ensure that they can collect money fastest at the lowest cost possible.
Right. So like how should people think about this? Let's say I'm a social media influencer, right? And I want to sell something. How can I use Bill Please?
So Billpace, we design our platform to be able to cater to various business sizes. So if you are a business with a tech team or capacity to build your own platform, then you can utilize our API integration. But if you are a sole proprietor or a social media influencer, for example, then we provide a payment form, a custom link feature for you to generate and then share with your customers, and they can make payment from there instantly.
I think one of the things that you normally see out there, right, was someone asks for donation, and then they give their own account number, and then you get blocked after like so many.
Yes,
Exactly. So Bill Please really does.
No one remembers 12-digit account number.
There you go. Then everybody say, hey, you cut and paste lah. I cannot remember lah, cut and paste. You know? So Bill Please really does fulfill this particular segment of the market. I think you and I can also jump on board, especially when we talk about the gig economy of freelancers. Is it specifically catered to the gig?
Let me know, Nas. I'll give you special rate.
I love it already.
What's the promo code? Flash it out.
Ini baru business
Thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. Thank you
Appreciate
for your
Kiko's
time.
ideas coming, Zakwan. Well done.
I will have to call him after though.
All right, Zumi, Sarah,
Yeah.
I've had a lot of fun during this whole hour of Tech Marketplace. Among all the entrepreneurs and all the products you've seen, which one really catches your eye? Hey, Zakwan, you're still with us. Please, man, thank you very much. Now we're going to talk behind your back, so you better hang up. Thank you very much. All right, as we close things down, which is your choice?
I would say speed rent. I really like the idea of it. I've worked in real estate before, so I can totally understand the pains that people feel on both ends, and I really like the idea
So
of that.
you like the integration idea?
I like the integration, yes.
How about you?
Of course, like first and foremost, there's Bill Please there, right? But also like kaki tangan, right? Because as an entrepreneur, sometimes you forgot about that. How to manage the people, you know, like especially claims. It's so really hard, right?
That is true.
Claim.
That is true. For me, I'm as a parent, I'm more concerned about cybersecurity and security as well. So comms is one for me, and also Blue Guard lah. You know, keep your home safe. And I'm really impressed with how much control that you have, and how much you can design it to your own needs as well. So check out these guys, and of course we've got more coming up in the next 2 days. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the Global ICT Awards 2020. I've had a lot of fun here. Sarah,
I've had so much fun.
Very cool.
Very eye-opening.
It's very eye-opening as well. So, as CTO of Fave and looking at all the entrepreneurs here, you got some tips,
Well, just execute, right? And then everything will be handled.
Do you find any tips out there that you can use yourself?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I'm trying to look at partners.
He's sitting in a really good position right now because he has a chance to listen to all these different companies, what they're doing. But I think, you know, what I want to take away from this is that we have such amazing technology in our own home ground, and the fact that technology can really grow and expand and is borderless because you can take things global is just phenomenal.
phenomenal indeed, and we hope you've had a phenomenal time with us as well. So this is our first time doing Tech Marketplace. Of course, we're hoping to improve things as we go along. More entrepreneurs, more products, more services, more applications for you all to just sit back and enjoy. And so, once again, thank you so very much. We'll see you tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll see you tomorrow, yes. That's us from
Bye.
Tech. Yeah.